Let's just kick it. All right? Let's just kick it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's just kick it. Let's just kick it. I went and fuck that motherfucker up and shit. You know what I'm saying? I hope I didn't get my swole on and shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get my swole on. Yeah, I get my swole on. We're going to find it out sooner or later. Let's rock and shit. Rock the jizzo and shit. Hey, Rogue, how you doing? Hey, Murph, how are you? Hey, Drifter. Yeah, let's kick it. Let's rock. Hey, Stephanie. Oh, let me turn that fucking light on. I just got my swole on tonight. You know what I'm saying? I'm a certified, bona fide. I've been like kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Just kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just got done lifting weights about a half hour ago. You know, I've been lifting weights like a motherfucker for quite a while now. You know, I'm almost as strong as I was as a senior in college. You believe that shit? Now, it begs the question, you weren't that strong in college? Or all these supplements I'm taking are really paying off. But I took supplements before. I'm not shitting. I tweaked a tendon in my elbow tonight. I hope I didn't fuck it up. It's sore. It didn't hurt, but it wasn't sore before. Now, tomorrow I'm going to look at a place that makes gravestones. We got to be up there morning at 9, about an hour and a half drive. Hey, Becca, how you doing? Yeah, it's really beautiful outside. I got all 4 cameras going. You know, I got a new camera, and that I like it. I'll tell you one thing I don't like though, but nothing I can do about it. It really goes through batteries. God, man, I mean, worse than the GoPro 11, which, you know, it's not that big a deal, but I'm a little surprised. We get ourselves together in old age. Yeah, it seems like it. Well, I do know this, and that is there was a silver lining in having stomach problems. And by the way, my stomach problems have went away. This medication has actually worked. A year of misery. Upper GIs. I was supposed to get another one. All these PPIs, and this shit actually worked. It was the last medication in the PPI family, the strongest one of them all, and this shit works. I'm drinking coffees, you know, but I've still kept my diet good. But I'd have never lost this weight and gotten this shape had it not been for stomach problems. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's unbelievable. But if you ever have what I have, it not 100%. I think that stupid doctor. I'm getting fucked around by an oral surgeon too. You know, my dentist made a referral Friday. They were supposed to call me Monday. They didn't. I call them today. They transfer me to voicemail. They said calls before noon. They call back that day, afternoon the following day. Well, I called at 11:30. Still haven't heard from them. I'm going to look for somebody else tomorrow. You know, the writing's on the wall. The older I get, I can tell these are fuckers. So I'm just going to go somewhere else, even if it costs $200 or $300 more. Hey, Bruce, how you doing? But I'm telling you, this. Have you guys had problems stomachs? I think I think they misdiagnosed me. I don't think I have gastritis, which is why none of that shit worked. I think I have inflammation at the very bottom of my esophagus, right where it attaches to the stomach. So what was happening is I'm taking all these antacids they're giving me, and it's not doing shit for the inflammation in the esophagus, and it's taking away all the acid I need to dissolve food. So I'm taking these things in the morning, drinking a coffee, and there's nothing there to counteract all the acid that I had from the coffee. I mean, you do need acid in your stomach, just not too much. Motherfuckers. No, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's just inflamed esophagus. I don't know why I got it. I don't know why. You know what? All this bullshit, like getting fucked in a lawsuit, like I did, prevailing in an appeal, like I did, you never really know what's what. It's like a marriage breaking up, a relationship breaking up. It's like you kind of know, but you lump it into one explanation, and it's nothing you can hang your hat on for sure. You know you got fucked, and it was all one big giant package that came from several sources of varying degrees. Oh yeah. Do you want me to get the name of this medication for you? Man, my fucking stomach cast iron, man. I got a vulture stomach now. I've been drinking you know what I do? I want to test this shit all the time. I drank 3 big ass coffees today. Didn't phase me. Plus, I just got, I'm not eating enough carbohydrates, which is why I'm drinking double supplements. Which tastes like shit. Sometimes it is. A lot of times it's not. I wasn't drinking that much alcohol. And when you quit drinking, it should have went away. I hadn't had a drink in a fucking year and still had the same problems. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I can digest dead tissue like vultures now. So anybody wants to, hopefully after tomorrow, anybody wants a tombstone, I'm really checking this place. I'm trying to do something unique. I don't want to go into a regular old business, man. People, PI, I'm sick of being a private detective. I haven't even done it for a long time, 10 years. I had one case in 12 years. It just sucks. You got to blow people for cases. I don't want to do that. I actually put a bid in on a lumber company and got outbid. Small lumber companies got like 30 employees. Now this place has got 6 employees. Been in business 35 years. They make tombstones. I want to get into something totally different. I don't want to be a PI anymore. I looked at commercial parking spaces for semi-trucks. I looked at a new car wash. I looked at a laundromat. Place that pressure treats wood. Because as I've told you, there's nothing, days off aren't as good as they could be if you're not working. Believe me, I like my days off, but I don't like them like I would if you can't bullshit yourself. It's kind of like subconscious stuff. I don't know do shit. It's the old adage, you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. And that ain't no shit. I don't hardly get anything done anymore. Why? Because I can always do it tomorrow. Land acquisition. Now I'm just going to sit on it, actually. The land thing is, this is the same thing is happening here as it happened in Florida. Same fucking shit. This is just the way it is. This reminds me exactly of Florida. Dirt roads, hillbillies. Down here, it's more poverty. Now it's gone up about $1,800 an acre. New bullshit. New gas stations, that kind of thing. I can see it coming. Hopefully I'll be dead by the time it gets like it did in Florida. Yeah, nothing to lose. That's exactly right. And at the same time, I don't want to be going out doing a lot of marketing either. Marketing sucks. I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but cold calling is a fucking bitch. And the private detective stuff that I did, for a while there, after I got like pretty successful in it, I mean, what's success anyway, right? Well, when you're doing it, I'll tell you what it is. It's getting a lot of fucking cases all the time. That's it. That's the name of the game. And nobody, for a while, I had like 9 yellow page listings. This is before the internet. 9 yellow page listings in all the big cities in Michigan. And I'll bet you in 11 years, I'll bet you I didn't get 5 cases from those yellow page listings. I marketed all the work that I went to. And there's already like 20 people ahead of you, third generations that are always doing it. So my marketing plan was always to go in and do shit for free and to do it over again, half price, free day of surveillance. I mean, that's just the way I did it. And it got people. And once I kind of got to know them, that's how I got my foot in the door. And at the time, people didn't last long, places and insurance claims people. And they'd all go to new jobs and they get to use me. You know, they'd make a condition to their employment. It's like, hey, I got this PI I really like. Could I use him here? It's like, sure. And then they'd introduce you to their friends. That's how it happens. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. But cold calling sucks. I'm not too good at it. Yeah, I did do the lost dogs. I like doing that too. But all this stuff, like I was on the board of directors at a humane society, terrible, lasted about a month. I had these 2 college professors on there, a veterinarian, these other fuckers. They're just so unbelievably incompetent. Never got anything done. The one guy, the one college professor guy was in charge of like donations. And that fucker got 10% of the donations he brought in. And he took 10% of a donation that the guy had promised to give the facility before he was even hired. And that pissed me the hell off. And you know what I did? I fired the motherfucker. 2 weeks after I was in there, I was in charge of like marketing. I canned his fat fucking ass 2 weeks into it when I found out he did that. Now, this is one of these things. Is there anything wrong with him doing that? Yeah, fuck yeah, there is. This is a nonprofit that needs every penny it can get. And you took money that was coming here anyway. But it got approved by the other people on the board. So that's one incident. There's another lady on there that lied to the city council. She'd go in there at night and like, who knows what she did, like look around and like read through mail, just all sorts of crazy shit. And they found out she was in there and they asked for the keys back. And she kept some keys and was still going in there, that kind of stuff. So I didn't really last very long. I had a veterinarian that was constantly canceling meetings. So when I was in there, it was like, you know, it's like Elon Musk. He didn't give a fuck if you don't buy his cars anymore. Yeah, I like to help dogs, but let me tell you, man, anytime you do stuff like that, you think you're just going to go in there and you're going to help dogs and that's going to be it. You're going to live happily ever after and the dogs are going to go to beautiful homes. Wrong. It's super political. You always have to be kissing people's ass for money constantly. And if for some reason it seemed like the people that had discretionary money that they would be willing to donate to you, there's so many strings attached. It's unbelievable. You know, they want to tell you the color of paint on the ceiling and what your hours should be. And the biggest fallacy of them all, is a no-kill shelter. It's just not reality. The only place no-kill shelters work is in Fantasyland, Disney movies. Or if you happen to be a community like Hilton Head, where you got more money and you know what to do with, and you're willing to have a giant petting zoo that you call a humane society. You got all these sick dogs that are eating your life medical bill, but you got rich people that are glad to pay for it, and nobody ever adopts them. Before you know it, you got 30 dogs in there that live their last 5 years in there because they never get adopted and they don't want them killed. That's the truth of it. When you're in a place lower income, no kill's a necessity. It's the herd mentality. You can't do it anymore. You can't just, it's not practical. There's not enough food. There's not enough help. There's not enough cages. And you put your money into healthy things that adopt out. kittens, puppies. It's a shitty position to be in, which was one more reason why I didn't want to do it anymore. But people have these fantasies, ideas of what it's going to be like to run an animal facility. It's not all like big giant pillows and we all jump around all day. Yeah, I loved Yellow Pages. Fun looking through them. Get word, spirit world. You're an adult that is going on sites that don't want you. Get lost. Beat it, you loser. Get out of here, you loser. And don't come back. Good job catching this idiot. Yeah, there's some good people and a lot of things going on. When you get these grants and stuff, that's something you ought to consider doing, Frisky. Drifter, all you guys, man. It's a great moneymaker. You go around the facilities near where you live, and you tell them, hey, look, would you mind if I applied for grants in your behalf and I get like half or 30% or whatever it is? I mean, I dated a woman like 30 years ago that was making 200 grand a year, and all she did was write grants. And I assumed at the time, well, grant writing really, you have to be an excellent journalist. And really, you don't. It has fucking nothing to do with it. You have to know the keywords, the buzzwords, read between the lines, and answer the questions and do what they're looking for. I mean, if you got a place that's got $1 million to give out to cats, you don't try and talk them into giving it out to dogs. Shit like that. Grant writing is where it's at. Good job, Stephanie. Get out of here, spirit world, you loser. Mary, get out of here, you stupid tramp. Get out of here. You're not going to do shit. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and tell them to investigate me. I already know them all. They'll investigate you for being a shitbag with a fake name. Yeah, but don't do it. Get out of here. Why are you an adult going on a chat where you're not wanted? Is that all you have to do? You fucking loser. Get out of here. You're not going to do shit. Except run your fucking big mouth with your fake name. Now beat it. Hey, write grants, you guys. Write grants. I did like helping them. Yeah, but I'm telling you, the more I knew about stuff, I did this shit with parrots, dogs, cats. It's a lot of political bullshit. It is. You got to suck a lot of ass when you're running when you're running a humane society, any of that shit. It's unbelievable. You really do. Then the people come in 10 grand, they think they own you. They're going to tell you what to do. They'll give you like, you're broke, you don't have any money. And they'll come in, it's like they act like 10 grand is 10 million. And then they get you aside. I'd like to have dinner with you some night. Something's coming then. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I know, I'm about ready to bend over now. It's like, oh, you'd like to have dinner? Sure. You got to fucking go. So you go out to dinner, and about halfway into the dinner, it's like, I love your facility. I love you. I love animals. But I'm troubled with euthanizing old dogs. Oh my God. Here it comes. They're going to try to talk you into a no-kill shelter, which is just in a perfect world. It's like homeless people. You get people, why don't we just convert these old buildings that'll cost like $20 million to bring back to code and just let them live there for free? I mean, why are all these buildings just sitting there vacant? Hello? How about like labor, the cost of doing it, utilities, insurance? These homeless people sue you at a drop of a hat. Same thing with animals. What a great job of getting rid of these people. You are really on your A game tonight. Good job. So making gravestones, but I'll see. I'm going to look at all, grants for anything. For everybody. Everybody has them. Every big company has money that they give away for grant writing. If you're into animals, dog food companies, cat food companies, people that make cats. If you're into diversity, which I'm fine with, I don't mind diversity. I just don't want to pay for it. If you've got some company that wants to come in and build a separate freestanding structure for transgenders in a place where you live, like California, they're out there. Google's kind of like that. They'll go out there and say, we'll give you $1.2 million to build a trans bathroom. Yeah, fuck, great, do it. So you write the grant and you get a big cut out of the total money. I mean, I know another guy that wrote grants too, part-time. And he was just shocked sometimes when these grants were awarded. And you sign a contract with whoever you're writing for, but you think it's some big, sophisticated, gifted person that writes. It is not. It's basically fill in the blanks, to tell you the truth, and to write a compelling, short narrative on why you need this money for your community. And if you're in a place where, there's 20 dead cats lying around the streets all the time, you go out, take photos, you get a article in the paper that said the Humane Society can't take any more cats, and you go show them a bunch of photos of the dead cats, and you take some videos, the cats run all over, killing songbirds, and then you say, hey, look, this is a real problem. You got all these cats, they're not spayed, they're not neutered, there's no place to put them, the problem's getting worse. That's what they're looking for, that kind of stuff. You just can't send a thing, it's like, we like cats, please send money. You have to demonstrate why them sending your place money is a good idea. Look it up. There's tons of stuff on it, grant writing. I'm sure there's a million YouTube videos about it. Yeah, I really do. I think so. Great job tonight, Drifter. I think it's a good thing. It's kind of boring, but and if you don't get the grant, you don't get the money. Big deal. It's not costing you anything. And the cities don't have time to mess with this. They got other shit to do. All of a sudden, you get the letter sent to you. It's like, hey, Frisky Minx, we have approved your grant for $11,000 for scratch posts randomly placed around the city you live in. And then you go to the city and it's like, hey, we're getting 11 grand. I got 11 grand where they give you half of it or whatever deal you strike. It's a lot. It's a lot. Because they got nothing to lose, you got nothing to lose. It's like commission only. And then you get better at it and you just target the grants where the money's at. If it's not a $50,000 grant or a $25,000 grant, don't mess with it. Yeah. The tariffs, that's they keep going back and forth. I called Mark Kropka today. Asked him about that. They got a new prime minister. I mean, in theory, I think it's a good idea. And, Trump is good. I know a lot of people don't agree with this, at getting dialogue. He'll go do some crazy shit like Ukraine. Now they're going to give him intelligence more, and they're going to give him more money after cutting him off a week ago. He's good at smacking the hornet's nest and opening negotiations. I think I don't really honestly know enough to make an informed comment on it. No, I don't care talking about politics. Well, it hurt the middle class how? I mean, we're already hurt by no livable wages paid because everybody's someplace else. I mean, hurt the economy short term? Absolutely. Hurt it any worse than it's already been hurt long term? Hell no. I mean, there's no good paying jobs anymore. I mean, if you're getting everything imported and everything's turning into a service industry in a country that used to be known for its manufacturing, you have no choice. Yeah, things get worse before they get better. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't really looked into it enough. I mean, sure enough, and this didn't take a rocket scientist, but, Tesla's stock's in the tank. He doesn't give a fuck. And I kind of like that about him, actually. Actually, I think it takes a couple nuts like this to straighten this clusterfuck out. I really do. It couldn't have been worse than voting for Harris. No, absolutely no way. You know, it was just turning into a big, giant welfare state. I mean, just look around. You know, it's easy to pigeonhole Republican and liberal, but I mean, those are generalizations. You know, there's, you know, I'm independent really, but kind of lean towards the working and not paying for elective surgery. And I'm all for a big, huge military. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to go around placing flowers and gun barrels. I think she would have been an absolute disaster. Absolutely. But, you know, these people are in their own way smart because they damn near get elected. Hey, Kathy, by getting huge. It just happened in Canada. That new prime minister is the biggest fucking liberal that ever lived. And they get elected by all the shit that, you know, we haven't been about for years. Yeah, we're all for diversity, freedom. We just don't want to pay for it. So before you know it, you tap in, you do focus groups, and you find out as a liberal that liberal candidate that free tuition, which is a fucking fantasy. So you bring that up. There's just millions of people out there that want to go to school for free. Then you give stimulus money for people that have no intention of working. And then you open up a fucking drug shop. You know, even though everything else is out of business, you open 3 or 4 marijuana dispensaries so everybody just smokes marijuana, gets money for not working, goes to college for free, uses fucking Medicaid as their primary care physician, takes an ambulance when they get the flu because they're not paying for it anyway and their credit's already shit. And you just have this huge population that are actually getting voting for people that promise that there's going to be more of this bullshit. You give Social Security out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that doesn't deserve it. You let every fucking illegal, murdering, raping fucking shitbag come over, just stroll across the border, live here, and get free rent and fucking free dentures and free food. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's, you know, it's not, I mean, believe me, I've said this all along. You know, there's lots of things I don't like about Trump, but not as many as I didn't like against Biden and Harris. I mean, I voted for Trump solely on the basis of finance. That's it. Slowly trying to bring back the economy and not giving everything away. That's why I did it. It's sad. I mean, I think about this all the time. You know, it's just crazy that it's come down to just voting for people like this. It's embarrassing, really. Well, but you see, here's the thing. Now, yeah, you're right, but you know, and you know, it's you can have a dialogue with not getting into an argument. But like here, the homeless, I'll tell you, you know, one reason there's so many homeless is because there's no fucking jobs that pay anything. I mean, you've got 2 factors. Inflation is different than prices rising, but nobody's paying anything anymore. And you look at what everything costs. I mean, that's why there's so many homeless. I mean, you're always going to have homeless. You got people that are homeless because they're mentally ill. You got people that are homeless because they have drug problems. You got people that are homeless that just had bad luck. But the reason that it's doubling is you got all sorts of people that are homeless that shouldn't be because they can't get a fucking decent paying job and keep up with their bills with the current economy. You got to work 2 full-time jobs. Rent is through the roof. You know, and all these you know, you look at the cost of fuel and the cost of food. I mean, we're heading third world. No, it is insane, but you're gonna, you know, you're never gonna get anybody perfect. You're gonna get some crazy shit from him. Yeah. But I'll tell you, if you look at what he said and you research it, I didn't realize Canada had been fucking us so long. I thought they were just a good, positive ally. Yeah, gonna be bankrupt soon. You just can't keep look at California, states like that. New York. Look at all the big cities Democrats run. And by the way, if you look at the statistics on Democrats, it's 4 to 1 of the amount of crime they commit. That's a fucking fact. Why? They don't work, heavy drugs, dope use. Those are the ones voting for not working, going to college free, not paying rent, getting free food, free medical care. That's who you got pushing the Democrats. And like I said a million times, the smart liberals have the dumb liberals doing all their dirty work. Do you think Matt Damon and Ellen DeGeneres are out there with a fucking flag at an oil well, spending all night not shaving their legs? No, fuck, they're in their $30 million house, like the ones the Clintons and Obama's own. Went in broke, come out filthy rich. You don't hear much from them anymore, do you? No, why would you? They got a great life. They got full-time chefs that live there. Neither one of them had any money when they got into office. Look at the Clinton Foundation. Now, the Republicans do it too. Absolutely. Comes along with the job. But you'd think the light bulb would come on when you've got these liberals that have got the dumb ones to do all the dirty work for them, living in their 20 million, flying around in their private jets. One person flying around in a Gulfstream 850. 2 pilots. You talk about a carbon footprint. And this electric vehicle thing's another fantasy. And these windmills, it's an ideology. Guys like George Soros. Yeah, $20. It's like that everywhere. Well, it's funny. I went to a really high-end, I shouldn't say high-end, but upper middle class. It's called Thai 21 up in Buckhead. It's a part of Atlanta. Excellent food. I mean, really top-notch, great shit. That's probably one of the top 5 restaurants I've ever been in my life. I mean, everything was like so super good. And I was talking to a guy, and he's been a waiter his whole life. And really charming guy, nice-looking guy. I bet he's good at what he does. And we were talking. That was his last day. And he said that the revenues are just slowly dropping, the sales. And I know why, because it's like the worst business you could be in now, with exception, is seafood and steak. The price of steak's insane. Even the rich people don't want to pay for steak anymore. So first you start by lowering the portions. It goes from 16 ounce to 12 to 10 to 8 to 6 to 4, and the price is the same. And then you get where that doesn't work anymore. So before you know it, even with people that have money, you're getting a 4-ounce steak, and they're bragging about what quality it is. And you're taking somebody with you, get a couple glasses of wine, it's $250. That's what it takes to make the wheels go around nowadays. And people just aren't paying it anymore. But owning a restaurant now is absolutely terrible. Look at these franchises, even fast food. I'll give you an example. The guy who owns the McDonald's that my sister used to own, I still get in touch with the guy that runs like 4 of them. This crazy liberal lunatic mayor in Michigan actually has given people as young as 14 vacation time for every 40 hours they work, or I don't know what the formula is. They get an hour of vacation time. And he owns 13 McDonald's total. Yeah, fucking 14-year-olds getting vacation time. Minimum wage is already through the roof there. And they figured it out for the 13 stores what this new program is going to cost him. Him as an owner-operator of 13 McDonald's for $650,000. That's what it's going to cost. Each store's got like 120 employees, some full-time, some part-time. Yeah, that's what a great idea, huh? Racking up vacation time for 14 years old. But see, that's the liberal agenda. You can't just talk about hard work, getting a job, saving your money, being educated, getting a skill that pays more, experience working someplace. This is how they get voted for, which is why this kook they got running Michigan is still in office. She's got to come up with shit like this. Crazy minimum wage, sex change on the taxpayers, 3 bathrooms, don't work, go to college for free. Everything's woke. Nuts. Yeah, everybody I know that has ever gotten into the subway lost their ass, went broke. The only way that works is if you're an Indian. Same thing with the nail salons. The nail salons. You're Vietnamese, Indian, somewhere from Cambodia, over around there, Asia, Thailand. You get fucking 10 of your residents to live in an apartment for 3. They all sleep on a fucking cot, work 16 hours a day. That's how you make money in the nail business in the subway. Yeah, it's a terrible. Here's the funny thing, Bruce, about subways. This is more bullshit too. You think you do your due diligence, you go out, you want to be self-employed. You go into a bookstore and you'll see the best franchises to own in the United States. And Subway's in the top 5. They're out of their fucking mind. Subway is one of the worst franchises to own. Unless you're just like what I told you. It's one of the worst. But yet it shows you in this magazine it's one of the best. There's so much false bullshit out there. It's unbelievable. And that's one of them. I don't know whether they pay the owner of the magazine like $200,000 a week to put this bullshit in there or not. It's a terrible franchise to own. And actually, McDonald's is starting to turn into that right now. Tim Hortons is like that in the United States. You can't make any money. They squeeze the owners so bad, there's no money left. Economy is complicated, yeah. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Steel is a perfect example. Track what happened to steel the last time they did tariffs when Trump was in office. It's a perfect example. It flourished. Tons of jobs were brought back. I'm not talking about building them. I'm talking about the ones that are here that are almost out of business because everything's being imported from Poland through the Netherlands. Yeah. Go to a Five Guys. It's more than that. Fries, drink, and a hamburger. That's right. Smaller. That's the worst, fattiest fucking hamburger you can eat. Five Guys. Everybody says it tastes good. Yeah, it tastes so good because it's full of fat. I don't know. Jersey Mike's, maybe. I'm suspicious about that. I don't know enough about it. I know the one in West Branch was doing $50,000 a week when they opened, and now they're barely in business. And that's another one, Jersey Mike's. Going to Jersey Mike's. I've eaten there a few times. I just had the little mini sub the other day. It's fucking terrible food. It's all processed. You'll stand there in line with people and you'll hear them talking about how fresh the food is. Fresh? It's processed, plastic wrapped meat and cheese. The only thing fresh, and that's debatable, is the bread and the condiments. Yeah, something like that probably is. Yeah, that's the worst shit you could eat. Subway. I mean, they taste like shit. I mean, I would rather just go and get a box of Cheez-Its or something. Krispy Kreme. Oh, they'll make you fatter than hell too. A lot of those went out of business too. Yeah, $16 a dozen. The funny thing about it though, Debbie, is I think the Krispy Kremes are only good when they're hot. I haven't been eating that stuff in about a year. I like Cinnabon too. But you look at that's like one of the worst things you can eat is a Krispy Kreme. But once they're cool, they're just like any other donut. If that light's not on, I went in there before and ate a whole damn dozen with 2 coffees. They're good, but they're not good for you. No, and you look at the fat content in the tuna, Bruce. You think I'm eating tuna, I'm eating healthy bullshit. I think there's less calories and fat in the bacon sub. Yeah. No shit. Go look it up right now. Look at the caloric contents and fat grams in tuna at Subway. It's nuts. Terrible. Jersey Mike's too. But Jersey Mike's is just a bunch of processed meat. And all they had to do was cook some bread in the thing so you could see it and throw a bunch of canned vegetables and some hoppers. And people talk about how fresh it is. What the fuck are you talking about? It is not fresh. Oh, shut up. Here's the deal. Let me look at your channel. It's not censorship. Yeah, I have live streams all the time. How many you have on your channel listening to you? Well, I think you got it backwards on here. I mean, I think you're trying to make a comment, a positive comment, but it's not coming out right because what ends up happening on here now with yeah, I mean, I expect any day. No, I know you're saying that. That's what I just said. I know you're trying to make a positive comment, but I expect any day to be canned by YouTube. It's worse than censorship. It's worse than that. It's worse than that. And honestly, and I'm assuming that, you think 200,000 subscribers is impressive, but it's all made up bullshit, which is why I've never said subscribe, join, link, like, fuck it. I know what bullshit the whole thing is, which is why if you look at my channel from the day I started until today, I put up the same things. 99% of the videos I upload, nobody watches. I'm fine with it. The 200,000 subscribers or whatever I have, 186,000, that was all from them trying to make money on me. I mean, I joke about it. I've got more subscribers than Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates. There's neurosurgeons out there with new procedures that save people's lives that have like 250 views. This is all false ceiling bullshit. But you're right in that sense. It's a form of censorship, but it's worse because they unsubscribe people from me. That's worse than censorship. They don't let people know I'm on when we're trying to have a talk. I mean, yeah, you're right, but it's not censorship in the true word of it, where everything's etched in stone as to what you should or shouldn't do. I don't know if you upload any videos or not, but if you do, it went from them blocking your videos, then it went to you grading your own videos. Now it's them looking at your own videos before they're approved for anybody to watch. So that is censorship, but it's not quite censorship as we've known it through, let's say, German regimes and things like that. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt that. No, I know you're saying that. I said you tried giving me a compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you. But in censorship is true in a way, but it's really kind of worse than that. Facebook does the same thing. If they find out you're a righty and you're voting for Trump, they will not show your ads in Facebook Marketplace. Hey, Saint Euphemia, how you doing? Yeah, the YouTube. Here's the thing on. See, I don't monetize my videos anymore because it's not worth it, and I'll tell you why. And it kind of goes along with what Here's the Deal is saying, because back in the day, I mean, I never thought I'd get a dime. Then they started paying me. I mean, there was a time when they were sending me like 14 grand a month. I think YouTube sent me about $240,000 in an 11-year period. I didn't even think I was going to get anything. Then it went to where, it wasn't me, it was the people that I interviewed. And then, I'm interviewing prostitutes to legitimately, figure out how they got there, why they don't leave, this kind of thing. And then it went to where you couldn't talk about sex. Then they didn't like foul language. Then they were smart. They didn't want you talking about drugs, even if they were good drugs. In other words, if I said to you, Prozac really helps me, they don't like that either. So when you're a guy like me that kind of got on the map through stuff people found interesting with prostitutes, YouTube promoted me for about 5 years. And you can't talk about any of those things anymore. What the hell's the sense of interviewing them? None. Now, that's not why I quit. I quit because I was innocent going into it, really wasn't doing any good. Nobody was getting any better. A third of them died for various reasons. ODs, murdered, run over by cars, fuck, who knows, all sorts of shit. And it just got to where I realized I was just kind of like a pawn in this naive innocence until the light bulb came on. It's like, hey, these fucking people aren't getting any better. And anybody that did, they got better on their own. Didn't have a fucking thing to do with what I did. And I said from the very beginning, I never went down there to try to help anybody. I went down there to find out what I said. How you here? Blah, blah, blah. And, I joked about never wanting to be the guy with the small Bible and a hot chocolate. Well, that doesn't work anymore. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I hope that Elon Musk starts a damn YouTube type thing. But there will be a day coming because the writing's on the wall. that they don't want guys like me around. And I kind of get that too. In defense of them, they just make boatloads of money. They get it from all aspects. They get brand new emails. They tap into all your shit. They know your shopping habits. And they don't want to take a chance of someone promoting Bible camp, having their ad come up with somebody like me talking about how much blowjobs are going for on 4th Street. I get it. They want everything vanilla, simple, non-offensive. And then they don't have to babysit people like me. So it's been a constant, linear progression of, yeah, kind of censorship, but worse than that. It's trick ponies. If you upload videos on YouTube, which is why I don't monetize them anymore, like I think I've got, 23,000 videos uploaded, some shit like that. If I monetized all my videos right now, I think I get because you can calculate it on a app. The way they've fucked with me now in the last few months, I would get about $220 a month. So for $220 a month, it isn't worth it to me to check off all these things because it's all vague. It's like, could you offend someone? Is this hostile? Would this be considered a political hot topic? I mean, you could, upload. I'm surprised they don't have a box for, do you think a turtle eating flakes is potentially offensive? I mean, before you know it, you're hanging yourself based on the boxes you're checking to upload your video. Well, I'm not going to make it that easy. If you're going to get rid of me, it isn't because my videos are monetized and you tricked me into something that didn't mean jack shit. And you said that it did because of your own definition of it all. And now I'm gone. So if I go out, at least I'm going to go out swinging. It's because they just decided to get rid of me, but they're not going to be able to use the answers to the questions they sent me as a way to do it. It's going to have to be another way. But they've done everything they could to make my channel go away, not promote it. Fuck it, I'm fine with it. Really, I would tell you if it bothered me, it didn't. From day one, I knew the whole thing was bullshit. I don't think they'll sell YouTube. It's too much of a moneymaker. This is the biggest gravy train ever. Well, what happened is, back in the day, like maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe longer, 6, if you weren't monetized, no commercials came up. Well, they changed that. And YouTube came out, and they're going to have commercials on people that aren't monetized. So they're making money even if you're not. Oh, here's the latest thing they're doing too. Well, when I started, I've always liked stars and sunrises and moonrises and all that bullshit nobody watches. And what are you going to do? Just put up, they're time-lapse videos, so there's no sound. So I put piano and, nice music, rather than nothing, and I attach it. Well, you could tell back then, they didn't want you using copyrighted music. I get it. Those people should be compensated for the songs they write, right? And minus that, at the time when I first started doing it, there wasn't really any place to get that shit. If it was the music, YouTube had some, but they were just terrible. It was like playing like the shittiest music you've ever heard. And then this Epidemic Sound came out, and for $20 a month, you could download songs to eternity. Hey, Jeff. And that's exactly what I did. Matter of fact, there were years where I didn't download any songs because I had 1,000 of them downloaded. And I thought, you guys really saved my ass. Rather than being on pins and needles and waking up every fucking morning with a big red fucking X that I got to strike, or you're going to do this, you're going to do that. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm paying for in-house copyright-free songs that I've bought off you. That worked great until about 6 months ago. Now, even though those Epidemic Sounds are on all the videos for the sunrises and moonrises and all that kind of shit, YouTube still says I'm breaking copyright rules, and I've got to fill out 3 pages of bullshit for every fucking song that I use, even though they know the songs that I use are copyright free, because there's a code at the end of them all showing those idiots it's ES. It's Epidemic Sound. It's paid for subscription music. So, I mean, as an example, nobody watches my sunrise and moonrise videos hardly at all. I watch them because I like them. So if you've noticed lately, back in the day before they started doing this, I may put in a 2 hour and 20-minute clouds time lapse video. I may put 35 songs in there, 2 minutes each, whatever. I don't do that anymore. And I don't do it because that's like 300 pages of shit that I got to fill out, even though I've paid to be able to use that music and not have them fuck with me. So rather than fill out 5 pages for 30 songs, I just cut and paste the same song through the 220 minutes. I mean, now if somebody bitched about it and said, hey, I like these Cloud Lapse videos, but goddamn, couldn't you change the music? I'd probably do it, but nobody ever does. Those videos are on there forever and they get 40 views in 5 years. So it's not worth jumping through those hoops. And to me, if it's piano, I don't care if it's the beginning of the song, the end of the song. I don't care if I play it for 20 hours. It's just piano. It's not like I'm hearing roll over Beethoven 50 times watching clouds. Yeah. It's just more bullshit from them. And the reason I think they really got it in for me is because I don't get any like things about promoting my channel anymore. Here's another example too. And I'm not into like rewards and hugs and any of that fucking shit. And when you got 100,000 subscribers, you get some really supposedly nice plaque from YouTube for 100,000. And I didn't want it, but somebody said, "Hey, do you have your plaque from YouTube?" It's like, no. It's like, "Hey, would you I buy it off you?" It's like, "No, I'll get you the fucker. I'll give it to you." So, I mean, I would never hang it on the wall. I didn't care if it was solid gold and weighed 20 pounds and I had to use railroad spikes. So I go through, I start ordering. You wouldn't believe the shit that you have to fill out to get this plaque from YouTube. Now, wouldn't you think if you got 100,000 subscribers, they just send you the goddamn thing? Hell no. So I got about halfway through and said, fuck it, you can keep it. No, it's still copyright free. It's all subscription music. No, it didn't. It didn't go to not, but YouTube is treating it as not. So here's what happens. I fill out all 300 pages of bullshit for 35 songs I've used on a 2 hour and 20-minute cloud time lapse video. And what happens is I'll do it. I know I'm getting the fucking red X's. So I got a line of those. This song is copyright. You can't fucking do this. So I just start filling out the goddamn bullshit. You know what I mean? And what'll happen is I got the X. It's copyrighted music. I fill out the 5 pages of bullshit, check all the blocks. It's not pages. It's checking boxes and your signature and an explanation as to why and all this shit. I fill out all that shit and I click it to them, and I have to do it with every song. And the minute I get through the last song, I'll get a thing saying that the creator of this music has 30 days to dispute that I've paid for it. And if they don't, then, but it doesn't matter because I'm not monetized anyway. It just keeps them from fucking with me. Because if you rack up enough of these copyright things, even though you're non-monetized, it makes it easy for them to can your channel. It's like, hey, look, we've told you a million fucking times that you're using copyrighted music and you haven't answered, you haven't replied, nothing. Yeah. It is total bullshit. It's a total hassle. But it's just, it's like any of these things you see through cutting down California redwood trees, blocking the fucking road for Burning Man. There's always this side that the public doesn't really get to see. So they're always coming up with new things that aren't in my best interest, even though when there's nothing wrong with them. Not sending out notices, fucking with me on the music that I've paid for, getting on me. Oh, they gave me a strike, not a warning, a strike about 6 months ago because of showing to do a how-to video on how to get a mouse out of a sticky trap without hurting it. I got a fucking strike for that. And then they tell you that when you appeal it, it goes to a human review. Bullshit. How can you be a fucking human, look at a fucking video on how to get a mouse out without hurting it in a sticky trap and still uphold the fucking strike? More bullshit. That is why YouTubers are quitting. And this whole idea of, they don't care though. This is like the biggest monopoly in the world. because they don't care. They definitely don't need me. I get that, and they make it very clear, and they don't need anybody else. I mean, they'll can somebody with and whether you guys know it or not, the money is in the views. If you don't have viral videos, you're not making any money. None. You're not making any. You gotta be in, like, up in the millions, or you gotta have, like, 50 videos on there that's getting, like, 50,000 videos a day. Subscribers doesn't mean anything, but what's interesting is that's what impresses people on the pissing contest. First fucking thing some young kid will ask you if you're on YouTube is, how many subscribers you have. It's like, well, I think 180,000. It's like, wow, how'd you get those? People ask me for advice. It's like, man, I can't give it to you. It's all bullshit. It's like not that great of content. I mean, just go around and look at the excellent musicians on YouTube. Just these writers, poets, you fucking name it. I mean, my shit sucks. Yeah, but the problem is there's nowhere to go. Now, I've tried a few of those other social media platforms like YouTube. If you named them off, it's been so long ago, I can't even tell. They're all cumbersome. You can't find them in a search engine. On a lot of those social media platforms, if I paid to be on those for like the 23,000 videos that I have on YouTube, it'd be like 16,000 a month. So I'm quite happy to be on here for free. It'd be like 16,000 a month. But there's YouTube and nothing else. It's like Walmart and then who's second. And you can never get a hold of anybody. When you get 100,000, like what you talk to now is artificial intelligence. You're not talking to real people. I've tested that out a number of ways. I get so fucking pissed at these people sometimes that I'll just send them like the nastiest fucking thing. And what having 100,000 subscribers allows you, you would think this would be great. Oh, wow, you can like work things out. Bullshit. You might as well talk to a fucking paper box. They will piss you off so bad. They will fuck you 10 times from Sunday on some kind of shit. You'll argue back and forth. They'll give you links that you've already read. Fuck you left and right. And then they'll say at the end of it, is there anything else I can help you with? It's like, what? Yeah, it's all artificial intelligence. But if you think of the numbers on YouTube, it's just got to be mind-boggling on the amount of bullshit they have to deal with on a daily basis. I mean, if you've got one guy like me with 23,000 videos of bullshit and people fucking with me all the time, not like they used to, you can multiply that by the people on YouTube. It's got to be like you could have the whole world working for you 5 hours a day and you couldn't keep up with the bullshit. So in a way, I get it. Well, I know, but that's not accurate because there is no copyright infringement on mine. And I'm still getting nailed with it. So what good's checking it if you've got paid for music, you bought it so you didn't go through this bullshit, and they're still flagging your video? Fuck it. I don't get mad like I used to. Yeah. But they'll drive you fucking nuts, man. It's just the inconsistently. I'll give you an example. Like here's another example one time. So I'm down there fucking around Detroit, and I'm interviewing prostitutes, and I was really like, into this life. I was interested about it, right? And one night there were two of the girls. One's dead now. The other one's doing quite well. And I talked to one of the guys down there, and I said, "Hey, do you think that you could ever line me up with like the girls shooting heroin, stuff like that?" And I thought it was, I never saw it, and they were, after all, everybody knew they were on it, and that was the crux of most of the interview. It's like, yeah, I'll do it. So one night, we get in this car and it's lit, and they go through the whole thing from the beginning to the end. It's a 45-minute video. And I uploaded it. Holy shit, man. It's like they were going to send the police over to my house. I got a strike right away. I got some other bullshit about don't you ever upload this shit again. And like other things that I've had happen on YouTube, after that happened, I went on YouTube and put in heroin addiction. 10,000 videos doing the same shit that they just did that to me for. Why? You'll never know, you know? Yeah, I mean, I know why that's the biggest bullshit about the channel, and that is that my channel, first of all, if you have to agree on what do you consider successful, I think my channel's successful in the sense that I get to upload videos and people get to watch them. That's it. That's it. That's my whole thing. So that's why I don't get disappointed, but everybody else is like caught up in this views and all this kind of bullshit. But if it wasn't for prostitute interviews during this finite time when Detroit was in the tank, and if it wasn't for certain people like Becky, Cassie, Raven, Sweet Pea, Amanda, if it wasn't Angel, if it wasn't for about 10 of those personalities during that time, you'd have never heard of me. It's nothing that I did. Anybody could have went out there with a camera, paid girls $10 and done the same thing. There's no talent associated with it. Zero. Yeah, 65 point. I'm surprised there aren't more than that. Yeah. Oh, in Michigan. Yeah, yeah. It was a great time. Let me tell you. I mean, I rank that up there in probably one of my top 10 life experiences. I was down there just fucking around doing photography, and I'm from not far from there, and it was a 180-mile one-way trip for me. I wasn't living there. I was living in West Branch, Michigan when I did those. I was going through a tough time mentally, and I'd spend all night down there fucking around. I didn't care if I got murdered or not. You look back, all those, I knew it was a golden period for doing shit like that. Going in those buildings and just doing that shit, and nobody around, the city going bankrupt. And I remember being down there thinking, you know what, this is great. I'm never going to regret doing this. Going through Del Rey, 50% of those places aren't even there anymore. Really, it worked out perfect for me. It's like anything, timing, you know? I mean, nobody was interviewing prostitutes back then. I did it because I liked it. That was it. And like I've said before, it was some teenager that took some of the videos, the early videos, and pasted them, cut and pasted links on Reddit. That's what made the channel take off. Nobody ever said, hey, Tom Reed's this fucking great, gifted interviewer. It was just teenagers that got it going on Reddit. And then after that came stalkers and fucking wackos. And then, you never really kind of lose them. Hey, Crunch and Munch. 100, yeah, I liked it, though. I did like the ride, though. I mean, I liked driving. It was cool, and it was late at night. Nobody was around. It's good. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. You probably wouldn't think that if you were around me all the time. Oh, I love the winter driving. I do miss that. Michigan just has had an ass kicker winter this winter, and I do miss that. And I am going to try and get up there for the ice melting down along Lake Huron, up around Mackinac Bridge. Yeah, I do miss that part. A real human. Oh, good for you, Sally. Congratulations. Hey, Crunch and Munch, how you doing? So it's just a funny thing, but I mean, it was the personalities, man. Because you know what? After those videos went viral, what are there? 13 of them. I never look at those figures. 13 of them or something. It's just really, I find it sad to me sometimes. Like, most of my friends don't even know I have a YouTube channel. They don't even know I have one. Some of them have found out because they recognized my voice. And I really don't talk about it too much unless they've asked me or I've asked them if it's okay to upload a video to YouTube, shit like that. Because they just think when they'll say, well, how many subscribers do you have? Especially young people. It's like, oh, wow. They really, think this is a benchmark of success, and it's not. They just don't think you could have that many subscribers and be total bullshit, and they're wrong. Oh, yeah, prostitute interviews were great. But if you looked at them and you watched them, She's over with Marty. She's with Marty almost all the time. If you watched him, it was about 10 compelling personalities that were just through the roof interesting. And the rest were just kind of humdrum, interesting, but not at that level. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Good for you, shrimp tacos. Yeah, I get those a lot. Oh, the guy just, oh, yeah. Yeah, that fucker wanted me. I'm lucky I didn't give that guy a ride there. That fucker wanted a ride up in Grand Rapids, and I didn't. I knew it was just weird vibes, and I wasn't going to do it no matter what. Yeah, he ended up killing a girlfriend, almost killing her son. Fucking weirdo. Yeah, they caught him in Toledo. He got like 40 years, I think. A fucking nut. And as it turns out, he killed her because she left him stranded at a mall. Fucking nut job. Stabbed her. Oh, yeah, it's just fun. But you could tell. But you know what, though? I mean, you could say, was he any different than half the people that I interviewed? No, not really. I mean, I think they all had the capability of that. But he was like super creeper. Hey, Jeannie, how you doing? Oh, put the kid in the garage? Which one was that now? Yeah, super fucking weird. He got like pissed. I don't know if I ever told you about that or not, but I had run into him after that interview, and he's all pissy with me like I'm not giving him a ride. He wanted to ride to Rockford, Michigan, where I had friends. And I told him, I'm not going to Rockford. I'm not doing it. And he was like almost acting like he wanted to fight or something. Fucking weirdo. But just like a fucking sling blade guy, only with a commercial with a just a major fucking hostile screw loose. Oh, threw the kid in the garbage. Oh, the baby. Yeah, yeah. I mean, but if you listen to her story, here's the deal, though. I mean, the media, you know how they are. You're fucked up on heroin. I'm not defending her in any way. It's fucked up, right? You're all fucked up. You got these scumbags abusing you. You're all high on this dope. Your life fucking sucks. Everybody hates you. You got a huge criminal record. You're high. Some guy beats you up, screws you while you're pregnant, throws you out in a fucking alley, and you start giving birth to a baby. And you're high anyway. You're all fucked up, and it's like, oh shit. And you put the fucking baby in the trash can. Now, after the fact, and in a normal world, you think, oh my God, you deserve the death penalty. This is just fucking insane. But these people are not in their fucking right mind. I'm not defending her, but this isn't like, you're living in a middle class neighborhood, your favorite TV show comes on and you go jank the baby out of the crib and you go fling him by one leg into a fucking dumpster. That's the way the story sells on the news. They know how to sensationalize this shit. This is just someone high out of their head, fucked up, probably didn't even know what was fucking what. Who knows what kind of crazy shit goes through your mind when you're giving birth and you're high and it's cold and you just got beat up. You know what I mean? It was that kind of thing. Yeah, it was sad on both ends, and the baby lived, and fuck, who knows? And just everybody involved, they're so crazy, and everything is so upside down. That damn fucking one of those news stations, they tried getting a hold of me over that too, and those fuckers were using my video. I had an attorney call them and told them to quit doing that shit. But they tried getting a hold of me, and you guys know this too. Dr. Phil's show got a hold of me, wanted me to bring Maddie and Gerald out to California. And actually, the producer was a nice lady, real charmer. And I thought, they said that during the course of the conversation, she told me that they quit sending people to rehab. Well, I know why. Same fucking reason I quit doing interviews. But after she told me that, I thought, why in the hell would I want to go out? I can just see Dr. Phil just like holding his arms like this. This is ratings now. This has nothing to do with what they promised you before you got out there. And they told me they would line Maddie and Gerald up with a dope connection when they got there. That's what she told me. I got a tape recording of this shit. So I can just see Dr. Phil coming out there at break time. I got to ask you something. Did you ever have sex with Maddie? Man, I'd have knocked that motherfucker out. I know how he did the same shit with Shelley Duvall. That's all about like sensationalism bullshit. Yeah, so I knew better, but I didn't think it was my place. It was just going to be a fucking clown show. Like, isn't it odd, a guy like you're separated from your wife, you're out there all hours of the night driving up and down with a dog in the car and van. What are you doing? That kind of shit. So, I thought to myself, why go out there? Just a big clown pest. But I did tell Jerry O'Malley, it's not up to me to answer for you. I gave him the phone numbers, and I don't think they ever called her. Yeah, I mean, if I helped them, it was in the slightest way, like you guys would do if you saw somebody that was hungry outside of a restaurant. It wasn't anything like, to write home about, meaningful. It's just like a simple, like, let me buy a lunch or something like that, But I knew that fucking cocksucker would do some shit like that. That fucking show. I had a fucking, yeah, I knew it was just going to be a complete clown fest. And you could get me on there. It'd be no problem. And it's like, hey, how old are you? It's like, oh yeah, I'm fucking 62. And it's like, do you have a girlfriend? Nope. It's like, here we go. I watched some of your YouTube things. You're always talking about porn. Yeah, Dr. Phil, I watch a lot of porn. It's like, well, I mean, here we got porn, no girlfriend. You haven't lived with your wife. You're driving 180 miles and you're running around interviewing prostitutes. I mean, what gives here? Shit like that. Yeah, I knew it was going to be some shit like that. And I would have lost my fucking cool. I mean, there's certain instances where if it's like that off the charts, I just take the fucking rap and get arrested for assault and battery and just clock that motherfucker. I would. It would be worth it to me. Because he deserves it. That show would probably never get on the air. They better have like fucking 5 security guards there when they have me on there. If he did some shit like that. And they do stuff like that. When I lived in Chicago, Jenny Jones shared the same studio with Jerry Springer. And there was a girl there that went to the health club that I went to that worked for Jenny Jones. She was a makeup artist. And you guys probably know this already, but they had people there. Like, I want to say, I don't know how you'd be a professional in it, but their job was to get everybody riled up before they put them out there. Yeah, and it was, yeah. Yeah, they want to turn everything into purse. Yeah, but you can it's not a stretch to like make me look like the biggest fucking lech pervert that ever fucking lived with Maddie and Gerald there. With that motherfucker. He knows the fucking hot points to bring up and to get people like thinking bullshit. And there's no way you couldn't have paid me a fucking $1 million to go on that stupid show. Yeah, the gay guy. Yeah, Jeff Feiger was a plaintiff's attorney on that. Yeah, that's the kind of shit they did. Yeah, and that guy was just totally blindsided. But that's the kind of people they are. They think that shit's funny. Yeah, so I didn't do it, and they didn't either. And you know how that fucking lady found me? Same way that these stalkers find you on YouTube. You go on one of those fucking. There's a million of them out there now on the internet. What's that fucking one? One of those search things you can join. It's like $20 a month. That's how she found me. Looked me up on one of those. Called me. She was very nice. Really smooth like talker. That's exactly right. Starting fucking trouble. That was part of what got the Jerry Springer show thrown off, is through some kind of state senator inquisition that he basically took the adage that it was fraud and it was set up, and they got the Jerry Springer show through these hearings to admit that it was, and therefore the advertisers were getting fucked because it was under the ruse of false pretenses. It wasn't real. And that's kind of what got started the beginning of the end of the show going off the air. That they had to admit that under oath. Yeah, that's why. Same with To Catch a Predator. They lost basically because of that one judge whose sister sued because, they got that fucking Chris Hansen over there was a fucking shitbag too. And this guy was like fucking beaten off talking to an 11-year-old someplace. And he's a judge, and the cops and everybody are over there before this guy has ever even been arrested. And he shot himself when he heard the cops pull into the driveway. And the argument was that they violated his due process, which is true. I mean, how are you going to have law enforcement running around with private companies, for-profit companies, and a prick like Chris Hansen and expect not the thing to come apart someday? Yeah, Steve Wilkos. I used to see him a lot down there. He lived in the same neighborhood I did. I never talked to him, but I saw him a lot. Yeah. And the reason that happened is because it was the same producer for Jerry Springer and the Jewish guy that ran the Pawn show thing in Detroit over off 7 or 8 Mile. Les Golden or something like that. Yeah, it was the same producer or talent agent or something. There was a connection there, and that's what got Steve Wilkos in the door. The place in Detroit, the Jerry Springer show, and that connection with that Pawn, whatever the hell it was, in Detroit. That was all set up fake too. Enhanced bullshit. You'd have to be in there 1,000 years to get that kind of activity, arguments and stuff. I went in there one time, met the guy, super nice guy, Les or Wes Golden or Goldstein or something. Super nice guy. Yeah, all those, the storage units, all those shows are a bunch of bullshit. And each Antique Roadshow. Yeah, I think he is. I mean, the daughter was there. They had a son. What was his name? What was that Pawn show out of Detroit? His name was like Les or Wes something. Yeah. I don't know. Is that Steve Wilkos' show still on something? But people like drama. I mean, it's still like that. Look at all these Kardashians and Hollywood and all the bullshit that's constantly going on with them. No wonder these paparazzis drive these people nuts. Yeah, but I wonder, what is that Pawn guy's name? What was that Pawn guy's name? There. Hey, Lucid Dreaming. How you doing? Yeah, how you been? Let me make you back as a... I had to take everybody off as a managing moderator because you couldn't comment on videos, which I didn't know about. What was that Pawn show out of Detroit? I went out and bought a guy some T-shirts one time. Naming the Pawn show that was on TV in Detroit. Hardcore Pawn. Yeah, 8 Mile Road corridor. Yeah, Seth Gold. Les Gold. Seth Gold, Ashley Broad, that's the daughter, and Les Gold. Yeah, it ran from 209 to 215. Yep. Hey, James, how you doing? Yeah, yep. He's a really nice guy to talk to. I talked to him, went up there, like as I said, talked to him about 20 minutes. Yeah, I mean, they've been up there forever, but you'd be in there the rest of your life trying to get that. They'd have those gang people come in there and they'd act like, it's all made up bullshit. Yeah, that's the daughter fighting with the brother. That's right. Yep. I never really watched it. I knew it was on and that kind of thing. And then I'll tell you, I don't know why this popped in my mind, but one time I was up. It was in the daytime, which was, during when I was going in all those buildings and. Oh, thank you. Doing those vacant buildings, Detroit, like the cops were pissed. They took some of their benefits and pay away. So it wasn't an issue getting caught in those buildings because the cops weren't doing shit. or I would probably wouldn't have done it because it's illegal to go in unoccupied buildings in Detroit. It's an ordinance. If you don't have expressed written permission, a note on your person, they'll really stick it to you. So that was another golden year of being able. But anyway, I was down there one time and they were filming a video inside there. If you guys like rap, there's a guy in Detroit, K Free, K and then Free. And a couple of those rappers were in there, and I met all of them. They were super nice guys. We talked for about a half hour. But I still listen to a lot of the rap that comes out, and I'm telling you, man, it's good rap. K Free is the guy that owns that channel, and he's the one that produces those videos. But if you like rap, I mean, they're 1,000 times better than like Eminem, I think. I mean, there's 50 guys on there that should be famous that aren't. Oh, thank you. I finally got it pretty much straightened away. A warrant, never had one, Colin. No. Yeah, never had a warrant, you moron. If I had a warrant, I couldn't have had a license as a PI for 40 years. You probably never thought of that, though, did you? You're thinking again. Bye-bye, Colin. You get lost. Oh, I don't know what they're doing with them. I mean, if anybody knows out there what got Maddie and Gerald, somebody said trespassing, but I just can't believe. I mean, they don't have room to put anybody in jail down there, much less afford it. I don't know what the deal is down there right now, you know? Yeah, go to K Free. You will like it. Yeah, modern rap sucks. Yeah, stalkers are all over the place. That's probably Survivor Girl or one of those losers. Yeah, I don't know. But I just find it hard to believe that anybody is in jail in Detroit for trespassing. Maybe for like a night. And then getting if you're in there for trespassing, why are you getting court ordered rehab? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, fires, yeah. But a lot of people, there were people, just did that down there. Graffiti and lighting buildings on fires. It was a big deal the day before Halloween, Devil's Night. I mean, it's been like that forever. I mean, everybody lights buildings on fire down there. Yeah, hitting the day and night alone. Yeah, super fucking weirdo. Yeah, super strange. Only person I've ever met in my life that hopes her cancer doesn't go away, if she had it. And then runs around telling people I kicked her off as a moderator once I found out she had cancer. Doesn't that seem like something that nut would say? Yeah, just crazy, man. Had nothing to do with it. He's a fucking idiot. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't doubt that at all. But she did have photos of like getting some kind of oncology treatment, didn't she? I mean, would she actually have the wherewithal to be in what looked like a hospital room and have IVs and stuff? I mean, she's crazy enough, but do you really think that happened? Oh, now that sounds like something she'd say. Yes, I believe that. Disappeared overnight. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. What years do you think? It lasted up until around 72. The 50s to 72. It was about 30 years. From 52, let's say, to 72. Maybe earlier than that, right after union busting with Ford Motor Company. And I don't know what year that was. Harry Bennett. Look up Harry Bennett. He was the union buster for Henry Ford. It got good about when the union got in and that Ford tried to wipe them out. And it was earlier than then. Maybe the 40s until 72. It didn't last very long, really. Oh, a scam, 100%. Okay, I don't doubt that. But it does seem like she was getting treated for something, wasn't she? Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Heidelberg Project. Yeah, the Heidelberg Project. I mean, they got actually, somebody was torching those buildings for a while, and this shows you how, politically sensitive these liberal towns are, like Detroit. It was like Black Lives Matter, which they do. I mean, I'm not for, like, fucking around with black people, but it was such a touchy subject down there with African Americans and the way they were being treated. Do you know that somebody had enough political pull when they were burning down those junky, dumpy looking houses at the Heidelberg Project? Somebody got enough pull to actually get Homeland Security and the FBI to come down there and place cameras to try to catch the people that were burning those buildings down. Same thing in Chicago, another liberal place. They were fucking with the bean, that big, like, chrome looking bean down there in Millennium Park. At least up until when I left, which was like 2011, Homeland Security was doing the security down there. Why? It's a private park. Liberal political connections. Probably a Daily Connection or whoever was down there at the time made a phone call and said, "Get your fucking ass down here. The last thing we need is this bean being destroyed." Yeah, Gorillas. It's a band. Yeah, aren't they a great band? I just got a CD from them today that I heard their songs. For some reason, they play it on whatever it is, those loops in Starbucks. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? Well, they blamed it on white flight. Coleman Young was the mayor at the time, but it was basically the infrastructure failing in all big cities. Chicago, all Rust Belt cities: Chicago, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Toledo, Detroit. Uh, people were going to the suburbs, lots of crimes. They were starting to fail. People were leaving. It was a combination of things. I mean, those big cities failed in places where they never built cars. It was just the structure changed of where people wanted to live. But the Detroit was, I mean, I graduated from high school in 74, and Detroit was shaky then. I mean, you go down there thinking, holy shit, man, hope I don't get murdered. And but I remember going down there, like, for Christmas as a kid. Every year, my mother and I and a neighbor and her daughter would take a day off school and go down there and go to J.L. Hudson's. And it was nice. We take the bus down, you could walk around, and that would have been like, I was probably 10. So that would have been like mid-60s. It was before, when things really went south in Detroit, was after the 68 or 69 riots. And then it really got where everybody's afraid to go down there. Yeah, art poverty. Yeah, I agree. No, it's true. Fascinating to me. Like I said, that was one of the top 10 highlights in my life. That whole, like, 3 or 4 year period from beginning to end. Yeah, Gary, Indiana, it was always like that. Yeah, I used to go down there too. Gary, Indiana is if you're into photography, particularly black and white photography, Gary, Indiana is an absolute fantastic photographer's dream. You got those steel mills, the railroad, just a lot of blight. Gary used to be a beautiful town. Yeah, Gorillas are super great. Oh, really? Yeah, great band. Yeah, really, really good. I mean, they're trying to bring these places back, but it's not happening. I mean, the government is concerned about, you just can't have, you need certain populations to run certain things like federal courts, big venues for like sporting events, museums, and you just almost like can't let them fail. And all this money in all these big Rust Belt cities, it's all government. There's an acronym they use for the DDA. It's all fake money, or they'd all be total battle zones. Yeah. The woman that, oh yeah, she was a Paula. She was a clerk in a grocery store that went out of business in West Branch. Yeah. Yeah, she had begged me to take her down there, and I finally did. Yeah, Paula. Yeah, that was about it with her. One or two things. I just really wasn't interested. Yeah, Paula. Yep. Yeah, she was scared to death down there the whole time. But, she wanted to go, and I didn't mind taking her, and it was fine. I remember when we did the Packard plant, and it was so fucking cold. In the daytime, it was like 3 below zero. Then we went into that school, and there were some gay guys from Toledo in there with us. You could hear them talking. Yeah, Paula. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what happened to her. My sister died here 2 years ago, June, and she sent me an email and sent her condolences, which I thought was a little like weird. I mean, I hadn't talked to her in like forever. I told her one day I was pissed off. I was going through a big, uh, major depression when I was living up there and doing all that Detroit shit. And I remember like really kind of snapping on her, just calling me all the time. It's like, hey, look, don't call me anymore. You're getting on my fucking nerves. I just did that the other day on here too. I mean, you guys have been around long enough. I mean, I don't fuck around. I don't think it's some great rite of passage or honor that you're here or any of the shit like that. But some of these goddamn women, it could be guys too. It has been guys. It's been like that Chris and his fucking nutty girlfriend. It gets to a point where I just make the decision. I don't want you around anymore. I mean, the whole idea is coming on here, having fun. And if I'm on my own fucking channel and I see your name come up and it's like, oh, shit, I'll put up with it, hope it gets better. But there comes to a point where I'm not coming on my own channel and getting annoyed by your presence. And I finally just spell it out to him. I just did it the other day. It's like, you know what? I don't want you coming on here anymore. I don't want you fucking texting me, emailing me. Don't. And I've warned you about this before. And if you do it again, I'm going to fill out a stalking report because this fits the perfect definition of stalking. Go away. I do. I just spell it out. Yeah, no, I just don't, especially when you have no interest in somebody. I've had it happen. I mean, I get it loud and fucking clear, right? You're not interested in me. I get that. You're always busy. It's happened to me. And, I get it loud and clear. I mean, why pursue this, right? Other than if you're a fucking stalker. And when it gets to that, and when I draw that line, it's just like, see you later. Yeah, I just don't want you fucking calling me for any reason. I don't give a fuck. Best of luck to you. I mean that too. But don't call me for anything. People are fucking weird. Yeah, thank you. That's exactly right. And like I say all along, and I could be kind of wrong about this, but I still think I'm right about it. A guy my age, uh, I think these women that come on here, some of them are in the past, they think I'm just like a lonely old fucking guy that's going to be all over someone 30 years younger than me. And that's just not me. Not at all. Not one bit. And, they're so used to pulling that off that they can't take. That's my only guess. I mean, I've tried to come up with reasons why I think it's like this, and they just can't believe that I don't take the bait. Yeah, just super fucking psychos, fucking weirdos. Yeah, they really are. I mean, just fucking aggravating. They just like don't believe that I'm not like all over this shit. I joke about it. You guys know I'm a fucking huge porn lover. And I think, you can come up with all sorts of reasons why you shouldn't watch porn or porn's wrecked my life and, all that, which I don't think it has. Now, is it a perfect scenario? It's not. But actually, I actually give credit to porn and thank porn because, if you're not watching that shit, I'd probably date more and have girlfriends. And honestly, it saved me from that. So in a way, when you're into that shit and it takes a lot of the interest away from even people that you otherwise may have been attracted to. So in the sense, maybe I would have got set up by some of these fucking psychos if I wasn't watching porn. But since, I'd rather watch porn than date women. So for them contacted me and me just fucking blowing them off, I thank porn for it because I may not have been that way otherwise. I mean, I know guys that don't like porn. They're dating lots of girls. So I'm thankful to porn for like maybe deflecting these fucking crazies because I just really wasn't into it. No, no, that never ever happened. Not even fucking close. I mean, I'll tell you straight out now because it's been a long time since I've interviewed anybody, but I didn't want to like be embarrassing to anybody or like act like I was holier than thou or better than the people that I interviewed. But honest to God, fucking never. It never even happened. If you remembered one of the lives that I had with Becky one time, I people had asked that all the time, and I thought, well, now this is we were eating breakfast, and it was now this is a good time to bring this shit up while people are listening, right? And I said, I hope you don't. And she stopped me right in the middle of. She said, "Fucking please, I don't even want to fucking hear this. I know where you're going with this shit. No, never happened. I've never offered blowjobs for half price. You've never come on to me." And to be honest with you, looking back now, and since it's been so long since I've done it, to be honest with you, you guys know what I'm like, right? I mean, I've had some nice girlfriends, watch the shit out of porn, and there isn't one girl that I've ever interviewed that could have given me a fucking $1,000,000 to blow me. So it wasn't any discipline that I didn't do things with them. It didn't budge the fucking needle at all. Zero. Not even fucking close. I didn't ever one time have a sexual thought about any of the people that I interviewed. Zero, zippo, none. Every fucking single one of them, from the best looking one to the ugliest one. Never. No, not at all. Zero. Nope. Yep. Yeah, she did. Yeah. No, I didn't believe me. I've had fucking friends blow me before. And let's say I upgraded my game and like 5 years into interviewing prostitutes, I went in and I infiltrated a call girl ring at like Brown University. They had that happen, or a call girl ring from University of Michigan students or UCLA cheerleaders. I'd have been all the fuck over it. Fuck yeah. I'd have been hitting them up for fucking half job blowjobs every fucking interview I did. But the people that I interviewed in Detroit, never. And I'm not saying that, I'm better than them, but it just didn't do a single thing for me. Zero, not even close. They could have gave me $10,000 cash and I wouldn't let them blow me with a rubber. Zero, none. There's not at all. I'd tell you if it was true. And like I used to tell these fucking stalkers all the time, it's like, I bet you're fucking them. Well, what if I am? They're fucking prostitutes. It's okay for everybody else to fuck them until I show up. I mean, is there some extra moral penalty when you fuck them after you've interviewed them? I mean, I don't get this. Yeah, well, I'm fucking them. I was fucking the ones that I didn't interview that I met in bars. What's the difference? Not at all. Zero. No, I never got one bit of a vibe for that. Not at all. No, not close. The only thing I can tell you about Sharon is that I knew, if you look up the definition of prostitution, it's trading sex for anything of value. And she was always fucking that guy she lived with uh, in lieu of paying drug debts. And she didn't consider that prostitution. She will go to her grave saying that she never dated a black guy, which, it's all depends on how you define dating. But she had nothing with riding that big old black cock to cancel out a dope bill. No, yeah, I did that maybe twice, Mike. Yeah. No, I mean, it wasn't smart. I've done it maybe twice. No, I mean, she looked bad from the first day that I interviewed her. I thought I never found her one bit attractive, zero. And another thing that aggravated me about that too is, Maddie and Gerald were super nice to her. They really, and she threw them under the bus. She did. She's a fucking bitch. Yeah, I never found her attractive at all. Yeah, nasty. That's putting it politely. Yeah. Super. Yeah. She's like Kelly. Just an evil fucking bitch. Yeah. No, I never found any of them attractive. Honestly, I didn't even think, I didn't find Maddie attractive, to tell you the truth. I didn't. Yeah, just fucking really. Yeah, Raven was just super great genetics. Beautiful girl. That poor girl was getting, fucked from day one. Stepdads, and then went to what do they call those fucking people that act like your parents after you live? Foster home. They were fucking her, and the boys in the family were fucking her. Then she got into topless dancing, got a dope problem, got in a car accident, her teeth got knocked out, and then it was on to prostitution. Then it was, with a lot of these people, I think it just clicks in their head where there's a point, and I was there too when I was suicidal, was you just fucking give up and you don't want to go back. And if someone comes up to you and they're gonna promise you this new life, it's too late. There's too much water over the dam. It's like thermodynamics. When you look at if the Sears Tower fell over, the energy it would take to replace it, that can happen mentally in a life. And the things that are considered successful after post rehab just aren't that fucking great. Yeah, you get off heroin, you gain some weight back, you get your herpes treated, you get your gonorrhea, you get rid of hepatitis C. And now you're working like a fucking slave at a Dollar General because you've got a fucking criminal record, live in an apartment. You got about $100 left over at the end of every month from working like a slave, and you're depressed. Getting high is a million times better mentally. So, going to rehab, especially, and a lot of these girls were very intelligent. They know one time their best days are behind them. Yeah, it's true, crunch and munch. And there's a point where, if you wake up tomorrow, I think that's what's happened to Maddie. If you wake up tomorrow, great. And if you don't, that's great too. You're just going to live your last breath getting high. The Vietnamese lady, yeah. Only time I ever saw her. Yeah. Yeah, Raven had great genes. Yeah, beautiful genes. Yeah, sweet girl. Really sweetheart. Yeah, I know. It's fucking terrible. Got hit by a car. They don't really do stuff down there, just sleeping and fucking. One time, sometimes I get down there and, if you're watching those videos and you saw them, it seemed like, yeah, I just go down there whenever I wanted to get those interviews. It was never like that. There were times that I'd spend 2 weeks down there driving around all day long and never get an interview in a whole 2-week period. And then I'd get 3 in one day in 2 hours. You never know. Some people didn't want to do them. People weren't out, whatever. But I can remember one time when, I was still doing photography. And for some reason, I always liked like black and white shots of alleys. Yeah, that was Tassie. And I was down there doing some fucking black and white, like low light photography of some alleys. And here's Raven blowing a guy in a pickup. And I pulled in there. And at the time, she didn't know. She just heard a car coming and put her head up and looked. And she saw it was me and rolled down the window and said hello. Yeah, she does stay a decent person. Yeah, she's a sweet person, Manny. Yeah, Lasian 80 was cool too. Yeah, very unique and interesting. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Raven was a sweetheart. I used to hear from her sister, one of her sisters, and I haven't heard from her in a couple years now. They were from up in the Upper Peninsula. Yeah, I mean, Raven was a sweet girl. That was a great time down there. And honestly, I mean, I don't really there's a part of me where, man, when I flip that switch, man, I'm out of there. Not that it's the same thing, but like the chicken the other day, I tried to like help it and it died. And after about an hour after it dies, like, fuck it, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I don't let I do let shit drive me nuts, but it isn't when prostitutes die or chickens die. I can just turn that fucking switch off, and that's it. I'm not. Uh, well, but although there are remnants sometimes of things that bother me a little, like I know that I'm gonna find out someday that Becky and uh, is gonna die, and Maddie is gonna die, and that is gonna be sad. No, it sure isn't. Yeah. Yeah, Jana was pretty too. Mother was a school teacher, came from like where I was from, nice, middle class, blue collar area. I mean, blue collar working area. Nice homes, middle class. Well, I know about a year ago she was still down there. Yeah, remind me of like Julia Roberts, kind of. Jamie B. Oh yeah, you're talking about the Jamie, the one that died, or the one that's still alive? Yeah, Jana was you could tell she was, I'll tell you though, you could tell that there were characteristics of an attractive person, but not up close. Yeah, Marguerite. Now, Marguerite was a real looker when she was young. Beautiful woman. She was a beautiful woman when she was younger. And you could tell by Marguerite, still had a good body, great head of hair. I mean, she had beautiful features. Oh, yeah, Drifter, yep. Oh, the one that's still alive? Yeah, she was fucking a big time dope dealer down there and had a baby with him, the last I knew. Yeah, Jamie is a sweet girl. Jamie was a funny one because, sometimes I would cross paths with Johns that didn't want to be interviewed, or I would know ex-boyfriends or people that lived in trap houses with her. And she like wouldn't blow guys without a rubber and wouldn't have intercourse and all sorts of shit that was just kind of surprising. Yeah, she was like, I mean, I know of instances where guys offered her like crazy money to screw her and she just would not do it, even when she was dope sick. Who's that, Lucid? Oh, black hair Jamie. Oh, the one that died. Yeah, there was another fucking nut job. Although what happened to that is, for a while there, uh, people would uh, figure out these people's last name, or somehow they'd figure out where. Then they'd find their Facebook, and then they'd contact their relatives, and they'd say that any day now I was going to be chopping them up into little pieces, and then they'd get what reactions they could from that, and then they would call the police and say that, how are you guys so stupid? This fucking guy's down there. He's the one running them over and all that shit. The cops never bought that though. No, none of the police anywhere ever questioned me about any of that shit, which I thought they would have done just to say they did it, but they never did. I always had a cell phone with me and it was always on, and I was a licensed PI the whole time. And, who goes back and keeps interviewing the people that you're planning on killing? I mean, it was just stalkers trying to cause trouble. Yeah, Marguerite was a beautiful woman. Her daughter's cute. One of her daughters, yeah. Now she's got another daughter, lives about 150 miles west of Detroit, that bash her fucking head in with a baseball bat if she ever gets an opportunity. Not the one with the short hair, but the one with the dark hair that happened to be staying in a room with that red roof in. I had a couple long interviews with her. Yeah, right. Yep, that one. No, she's still alive. Yeah. Yeah, she's still alive. And I don't know what happened to Ebony. Ebony's mother was a nurse and would contact me once or twice a week. And there were a couple times when, Ebony went back and lived with a relative and thanked me for, the mother would call and thank me for trying to help her daughter, and just kind of dwindled away to nothing. And I don't know what's what. I can tell you that it's been like forever that anybody saw Ebony down there. Yeah. As far as I know, Becca, as far as I know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I think they all kind of had like mental health issues. I mean, how are you? I mean, you don't know what's what. It's there. It's mental health, and you go into dope, or you start dope, and then it turns into mental health. It's like it's all one big fucking amalgam milkshake. You don't know fucking what's what, other than they're down there and what they're doing. And like I said about lawsuits, hanging your hat on the real reason sometimes is tough to ascertain. 10% of them, you can't believe that they're there. Well, they say society has failed them, but these people had lots of ways out of that and just didn't take them. I don't know how it's society's fault that they got down there and stayed down there and didn't want to get out. I mean, there was all sorts of programs all of them could have joined that they didn't. Oh, the biker bar, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I like that too. Those fuckers were fucking not nice to me either. No, there were guys that would come up to me from time to time and tell me that biker gang was going to kick my fucking ass when they saw me for something. And you remember that night that I got run into by those guys? If you look at that video, you'll see fuckers from that biker thing running towards me, my car. The one guy dropped a cell phone from that biker club before the collision even took place, like they had called them ahead of time. And there was nothing where I was parked. So it wasn't like they were running across the street to talk us to someone and I'm reading into it. I mean, I don't know if it was true, but when you add things together, I think somebody might have fucking convinced those biker clubs that, I was taking my videos and turning them over to the cops or some bullshit. Yeah, I'm kind of like that though. My biggest worry down there is that I was going to kill one of those motherfuckers. And, it's liberal Detroit. I'm a white guy. All of a sudden they run into you. You fucking shoot them both through the windshield. You're alive. You're glad you did it. And then you get charged with murder. And you get the black prosecutor down there to say that all I had to do was speed away. And it was just a collision. It had nothing to do with people killing me. I was fucked either way. Either they killed me or I killed them because they deserved it. But it all got fucking twisted around on just some racist white guy that panicked over a fender bender. Yeah. Oh, small chapter club. Well, the only ones I knew, they were kind of big. The one right down near the foot of Delray, Dearborn Avenue, right down near Zug Island. And then the big one on Michigan Avenue where I got hit that time by those guys driving a car. Yeah, I got the fuck out of there. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what doing well was. Fucking punching the gas. I mean, either it fucking wedged I got scratches on both sides of my van. Either it worked or it didn't. I guess my next thing was going to be to try reverse. A couple guys ran into me one night on Michigan Avenue, fucking like talking shit. Oh, I don't know whether they were high or drunk or whatever. But there's enough fucking kooks down there that were actually jealous of me being down there. And there are crazy enough people down there. If they don't like you anyway, and they think you're infiltrating their neighborhood and that they think you're getting rich on like using the girls. I mean, all sorts of crazy shit. It doesn't take much for them to want to fuck with you and like be a folklore legend for fucking finding me with the engine running, dead. I mean, that kind of shit happened all the time down there. Yeah, meth heads. Yeah, could have been. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of like that. Yeah, could have been. Yeah. Yeah, they're just fucking nuts. And like when you don't like somebody, you'll believe everything negative. They'll tell, these prostitutes that are coming up missing, that motherfucker's doing it. He's got all the cops paid off. He's on here all the time. He's fucking he's an undercover fucking drug agent acting like you never fucking know. And if you've got a hostile, pissed off, racist fucking person, he's actually thinking he's doing a fucking good deed by taking your ass out. Yeah, the swatting, yep, same kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, they tell me to get the fuck out of there. That was it. Tell me to get out of there. Well, here's the thing too I worried about down there a little. There's an ordinance down there. It's a misdemeanor. It's a criminal charge where it is against the law for knowingly associating with a prostitute. Well, even if I'm just interviewing them, I mean, you had me by the balls. You got all these YouTube videos. I'm down there all the time and I'm associating with prostitutes. Now, is that what the law was created for? To impound my van, take Daisy to the dog pound, charge me with a misdemeanor? 3 years and $10,000 later, maybe the judge decides to drop it. But no matter what, I was associating with known prostitutes. So, there's not much of a defense for that. You go in there, you've been through all this fucking bullshit. And, the judge says, hey, it's the law. I wish I could do something for you, but you knew these were prostitutes. As a matter of fact, you've made a channel over it and you knew you weren't supposed to do it and you did it anyway. I have no other recourse other than to make the misdemeanor stick, fine you fucking $2,500 and charge you, pay the $3,800 fucking impounded van fee. That's how it is down there. It is. So, you're getting charged with laws when that wasn't the intent of them, just to get you the fuck out of there. And what I worried about a little was that they thought that I was glorifying the lack of law enforcement. I'm just going down there every day, just interviewing these people out in front of all these businesses that they're ruining, Oh, yeah, I had a lot of those. Yeah, I had a lot of people talking shit. And they still do it too. This chosen one community bullshit and, put their name in the title. Yeah, just another thing other than the fun that I had down there and the people that I've met through doing it, you really got to see through YouTube how many mean, cruel, shitty people are out there. Just, the way they talk about Maddie and they fuck with them. And, you had like 10 or 20 people down there trying to get famous, making a channel by showing people where Maddie and Jero were living, calling up the places they were going and trying to get warm and making up bullshit. People are, but it's for real now. And it's based like tonight, these crazy adults coming on this chat, talking this shit. They're not wanted here. They've been blocked under other names. I mean, this is the level of insanity with some of these losers. They got nothing better to do or they wouldn't be on here. Fucking crazy. Really is. And, I mean, it's hard to, I just don't see myself doing those again because I just don't, there's no real reason to. Nothing ever got any better, I mean, if you blindfolded me and I went to big cities with the same kind of prostitution, I'm going to get the same kind of, stories, the same result. And the same, even if it's the same result and nobody gets any better, I mean, everybody knows now what the deal is. You're a drug addict, you're a prostitute, you're not going to get better. Why do anymore? I mean, it's not like there are novel stories out there waiting to be told, Oh, yeah, I don't doubt that at all. Yeah. No, I told SG she'd suck a fucking donkey dick on public TV for 10,000 subscribers. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, she would. No, she would do anything. Yeah, so especially on YouTube. I mean, but the thing we notice on YouTube is these people never have enough balls to come up and talk you. Yeah, that's true. Ballsy. They'd never have enough balls to come up and talk this shit to you in person or to other people in person. But when they can come on here and use a fake scream name, you see the real them, what they're like. Yeah, just motherfuckers. No, it's not like it used to be. But that's because it's all money. It's their platform. They can do what they want. And they're not going to feel comfortable having digital advertising showing up. I'm talking about deep throat and big tits and there's no money in guys like me anymore. There used to be, but there isn't anymore. And really, they're stricter than television. They really are. And honestly, the way the government has worded all this fucking bullshit, even if like if Elon Musk wanted to put up a new YouTube, what's the sense of putting it up if you're not making any money? These FTP servers are crazy expensive. So to have some guy just put one up for free speech is pretty damn unlikely. I mean, even Elon Musk tries to make money on ventures that he's doing. He's not flying these fucking firecrackers up to space for the fuck of it. And the same with this. Free speech is great, but it shouldn't cost you, 19 million a month to provide it. There's just, it's got it ratcheted down, and you just can't do fun shit anymore. Real interesting things. Yeah, they did, and some of them do. Like, it's no, great feat of skill to go out and interview prostitutes. Yeah, I did it because I just thought it was fun. I never thought, like I said, some of the videos that went viral, they sat around for a long time. Nobody watched them. Like the ones that like have 3 million views. Fuck, they were on there a year. I had like 150 views. But see, that's what YouTube can do now. See, I don't give a fuck, but I'm not getting like, for the last couple years, I lose 1,000 a month and I gain 1,000 a month. And I'm suspicious the ones that I gain, but nobody's finding out about me anymore like they used to. Before it was just strictly algorithms, and it's kind of like Reddit. Only a computer was doing the upgrade. I'm not getting put out there like I used to, but I don't really care. I don't, I'm not getting promoted. All those subscribers came from me being recommended. They don't even recommend my shorts anymore, which I don't care about that either. So, and once they cut you off like that, you're fucked. Like I said, there's millions of examples of great channels that nobody will ever hear about. It looks like you're just going on here and randomly this great shit showing up that nothing could be further than the truth. Absolutely right, Flathead. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's not fucking random. You got, 100 billion fucking videos up there. And, if it's not Disney now, Family Channel, Hallmark movie material, you're not getting introduced to, people all over the world like you used to. No, I'll tell you why. That's because YouTube is not liable for third-party content. That's why. They hang their hat on that. And that case law is etched in stone. And actually, it went up to the Supreme Court about a year ago, and they refused to hear it, which solidified what they hang their hat on. They are not responsible for any content a third party puts up, even if it means doxing you, which sounds fucking insane. Here, I can't put up a video about how to save a mouse in a sticky trap, but somebody will go on here and put a video up of where you live and where you work and how big your tits are, and they won't do a fucking thing about it. Or if they do, it's 6 months down the road when your life's been ruined and you lost your job. Yep. Yeah, Angel was cool too. But as it turns out, Angel was a big liar. Angel denied using heroin. And she talked about being a health nut when she knew she had HIV and hepatitis C. Now, I'm not critical of that, but what she said wasn't true. And that's just another example. Yeah, get rid of him, Prisky. And that's just another example of that'll burn your fucking ass out. It's like dating or being married or anything else. Once you figure out they're full of shit and you've been lied to, it kind of takes away your enthusiasm. Bye bye, Arnold. Now get lost, loser. Good night, Kathy. Yeah, just fucking weird. So, my stuff is going to be like, moonrises and sunrises. I was almost went over today and was going to record some alligators. There's a swamp over near Augusta, but tomorrow I'm going to look at this place that makes gravestones. And my channel, I'm thinking about doing some, like good, good subjective, right? Some photography of like the culture down here. Get into my photography a little more seriously. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep. It was. Yeah, like the planets are lining up. Yeah. There's some good videos on there about, you look at like a schematic drawing of the planets and the solar system. People don't realize how far apart they are. I mean, when they're trying to explain it to you, you'll have 2 pages of a book and you open up, you see Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury, the sun, all that shit. But there are guys that have went on there and done real life mock-ups to give you an idea on how far the planets are apart. You should look at those videos. They're interesting. They'll go out to like the Grand Canyon or Death Valley or some big, huge, giant area. And they'll it'll be like 21 miles away from 2 golf balls. That's how that's how far they are, but they just can't depict them any other way. I mean, if you tried to do it to scale, you'd need like, a fucking sheet of paper as big as Ohio. I did do infrared cameras, yeah. They look pretty cool. I've got a good Canon camera, a 55, HF55. It's got an infrared one. They look okay. Yeah, I made a couple like, these people are into this ghost stuff. I made a couple of the old houses where the vultures are. Yeah, I made them. I just didn't really, it looks like hokey, Get out of here, Stella, you fucking loser. And I've done a lot of infrared photography, right? That's a full conversion. The camera, it's a Nikon D800. Got converted. It's all it shoots is infrared. It's really easy. You don't have to fuck with the filter and all that shit. No post editing, none of that. They are in the barn, yeah. Actually, there's going to be new babies born in about 2 weeks. She's sitting on 2 eggs right now. Yeah. Yeah, I got some videos. Not a lot of them, though, because really it's just, I mean, I'll put one up tomorrow if you want me to show you one. I mean, they're kind of cool looking, but it's not that great, Yeah, I mean, it's like okay. Yeah, I'll do one tomorrow. It's super easy. I'll put up like a 3-minute one or for you or something. I got this new camera, fucking Insta360 Ace Pro 2. I got it out there right now doing a time lapse. Thing really goes through batteries. They're more expensive. I can't tell you if it's better or not now. I don't like the way the door is on the side. It keeps fucking falling off. And the accessories are expensive for it. I just got 3 new batteries today. And it takes fucking forever to charge the batteries. Yeah. So, I do interviews if I get a chance on something I find interesting, but I just don't want to do stuff for the sake of there's no reason to do it if it doesn't interest me. You know what I mean? I will though if I get an opportunity. Like I'm gonna go over and try and get those alligators. It's a swamp in the spring, so that would be a bunch of cool shit passing through. I may go to the Rattlesnake Festival. I don't think I'm gonna go to the Onion Festival. I'm thinking about going to the semi truck show in Louisville and making that part of my Michigan visit. I like those big trucks and all that cool equipment and stuff. I'd like to go to the one too of construction equipment. That shit's cool. Anything like that. Railroad, helicopters, those shows are like good, like a true like world event, like the helicopter show I went to a couple years ago. That thing was so cool. Oh, Northern Lights. See, I don't get a chance to see them here very much. There's some really good people that live like, look at the ones from Alaska sometimes. YouTube. And Michigan gets them pretty good sometimes. But here I'm not in a very good place. I mean, I think the Northern Lights are cool. But like I said the other day, I mean, I like wildlife and animals and shit like that. But there's no way I'm spending 2 months out in the woods trying to get two of the world's rarest frogs fucking on a lily pad. It's just not happening, man. It's just, I don't have that. It doesn't interest me that much. I have patience if I liked it, but I'm not fucking camping out for like fucking 2 weeks watching some damn bird build a nest. I like birds, they're interesting, but what you see is about my limits as far as spending time on it. If you offered me $1 million to go, try to photograph the world's last fucking hermaphrodite fucking hummingbird, I wouldn't do it. Like, fuck that. Google it. Look up there's big places like Atlanta has one, a convention center, like the GFICC or something. And look at if you an example is Google conventions in Louisville, Kentucky. That's a big one. You kind of find places that are in the middle of the country, so it's not a ball buster and everybody can meet there relatively easy. They've got a big, nice airport with lots of hotels. Louisville has them for all sorts of shit. And Atlanta has one downtown, the GIACC, whether it's national cheerleading things. Orlando has another one. You got to look at these big cities that are known for these places, where they'll have the worldwide McDonald's franchisee meeting. Like 20,000 people show up. They're fantastic shows. I mean, it's so interesting. You can go there on stuff that you wouldn't even think you'd like. Like they'll have one coming up in Atlanta, like the World Reptile Show. There's one in Chicago, like the World Reptile. And they'll be like the most coolest shit you've ever seen in your life. And all this people like bring this shit in from the whole world. Like all this crazy shit, these rare turtles and like lizards and stuff like that. Yeah, they're interesting. California has some of them too. Anything. It can be outdoor furniture. It could be the world's fire and sprinkler alarm. I mean, any big national recognized venue or in these main places, Chicago, Louisville, Orlando, Atlanta, doesn't matter what it is, nursing, fucking taxi cab drivers, like, they'll have like Uber, let's say Uber, they'll have like a Uber. They'll have like every gadget you can have on a car if you're doing stuff like Uber. People from all sorts of countries, all this new shit that makes your job easier, like new inventory systems to where you stack the hot food in the trunk. They're interesting. Yeah, I love the nature foods, Scott. I love that stuff. Oh, thank you. But if you ever have a national show near you, Denver has them too. Denver has you should go to this. They have a huge rock, gem, and mineral show and jewelry in Denver. I mean, it's big time. You'll go there and you'll see 10 people with diamonds that make the Hope diamond look like fucking bullshit. You'll see like gold nuggets that are fucking 58 pounds, shit like that. These world shows for what the hell ever it is, whether it's yarn producers, American Dairy Association, American beef, steak purveyors, tropical fish, like the world tropical fish. Guppies, an example, like the world's most beautiful hybrid guppies. You'll go into these fucking places. You'll have people to get there a week early. They'll fill up like 1,000-gallon tank with these like crazy beautiful guppies you've never seen before, and they'll be selling like babies for like $3,000 a piece, shit like that. And they have like people all dressed up. It's first class, good food. Yeah, go to a national show about anything. Yeah, it's super interesting. You know, it is like hand tools. You have Black and Decker there. All these people, all this cool ass shit. They'll have some fucking drill that like it looks like one you'd put in your hand, but it's like 3 stories high and shit, and it works. And a big giant plug they plug in, stuff like that. All sorts of cool keychains. Like you'll go and look at like the latest carbide tip drill. It drills through fucking anything, right? And they'll have fondue. They'll be hand dipping chocolate covered cherries and Ghirardelli chocolate, fresh cherries from fucking wherever, stuff like that. It's like just fun, you know? Yeah, it's just like really like big time. And the semi truck one, they have all these tricked out semis. I mean, it's such a big deal. There are like people that go up there that paint these trucks, and the paint job's like 350 grand just to show it at that show. Like those low riders the Mexicans use in LA and stuff where they go up and down. They'll have that with trucks. Yeah, so cool. Yeah, everything. The helicopter was just a fantastic show. I'm always looking, but you will have. It's a super interesting time. Yeah, it's super cool. No matter what. I mean, they'll have like you'll go to this semi thing, right? And they'll have like there'll be some fucker up there with a double tandem 2 thing that hauls gravel, and the whole fucking thing will be chromed. And they'll have like both full things filled up with marshmallows for the kids. Like that kind of stuff. They'll have hats that look like a semi truck hats, and they'll be too light. There'll be flashlights in them for the dark. I mean, cool shit. Yeah. Good night, Jeff. Yeah, it's really you'd really have a good time. Just look them up. Look up Denver. But if I were you, Lucid, I would go to that Denver mineral show or reptile show. Yeah, it's better than any zoo you've been to or jewelry store. Yeah, it's so damn cool. Yeah, I was gonna go to that one last year up in Louisville, and I just, I didn't. I try to like make it for other things, but you'll have the time of your life. It'll be so cool. I don't care what it is. There's not one of those shows you won't like it. It could be like cooking utensils. Some fucker will be like making king crab legs with some like food purveyor, and they'll be giving you like king crab legs as you're eating shit like that. It's like really cool. World Chocolate Association. They'll have like chocolate from like every country in the world. You know? Yeah, it's fun. No, just go to one no matter what the show is. It's good. Interesting. You listen to Spiels and everybody's showing like movies of like the latest stuff. Yeah. Yeah, stuff like that. The latest technology, that kind of thing. Like they have them for aviation too. Like one's coming up in Lakeland, Florida. Sun and Fun, it's called. And they have another one in the summer, Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Airplanes and helicopters and stuff like that. Yeah. They'll have ones for school buses, motorcycles, built-in swimming pools, you name it. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to hit the hay too. I got to get up early tomorrow for me, 7:00. Fuck. Which is early for me. So I appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Thank you. And I'll let you know how my tour of this business is tomorrow. I'm going to be giving you discounts on the tombstones. I was a PI my whole life, yeah. with your cameras. The only person I ever blackmailed was your mother blowing me. And that was for free. That was on the house. Yeah. You're thinking again. You're thinking again. Oh, yeah. Congratulations. No, it's true. Get a good hobby. Start reading more. Good for you. Yeah, good for you. Good night, Lucid. Grifter, you have a good night tonight. Frisky, you night night. Jeff went to bed. Bye. Don't want to miss anybody. Crunch and Munch, you still out there? Bruce, you nighty night. As I said, I talked to Mark Kropka today. He's doing well. He's playing with both his bands. You guys kick it. Yeah. Night, night, you guys. You party on.